Welcome back to my channel. I'm Holly Hughes, an author and intuitive healer. And today I have a very special guest. She's a woman who came into my life how many years ago now? Like 5?
I was gonna say about 5.
So,
Yeah.
Toni, first of all, she's super gifted spiritually. She's open, she's kind, she's considerate, and she's gone through a massive healing journey. And besides coming out of a relationship that was not safe for you, really, in any way, you held on to your femininity and you held on to your integrity. And you ultimately chose you and your children. And I don't know if you've ever, you know me, I'm gonna get emotional, but like, have you ever like really owned that? Like, not what hasn't been done, but the huge, I'm like, I should have packed tissues. I'm
No,
not mad.
I
But like, you've come so far, and I think I met you at your lowest.
yeah, absolutely. I feel that I actually found you online through another intuitive healer because I wanted to work on my marriage. I wanted to for him and I to schedule an appointment with you because we knew that there was this energetic connection between us, but we couldn't communicate.
Mhm.
And that's what you do. You help people communicate with what's not being said. So I did all the research, and then he was in true himself, was not for it. He wasn't for it. So I ended up seeing you, and you helped me get back to my own energy. And I think that um as an empath and being in a toxic relationship, I took on so much of his stuff, his energy. And I remember once you said to me, you were like, his energy is so heavy on you. Let's clean some of that off. And you did your thing. And I remember telling him that because, I did talk to him, and he says, good, I want my energy heavy on you. And I was just like, "Mm."
Ugh.
Yeah. So, but it's like in retrospect, I can see all the little toxic things. But in regards to what you're saying about seeing how far I've come, I probably don't sit in that energy enough in that gratitude space. But I do there are times I still kind of spiral
Of
when
course.
I look at all the things I have not done yet, um all the hills that I know are still in front of me, you know, when I can come back to the present, I do try to sit in that energy of gratitude
I
of
think
what I have
gratitude is
done.
hard. I'd love to talk about this one a little bit
Yeah.
too. Like, gratitude, like, I'm grateful for a lot of stuff, but like, human nature isn't really designed to be like, this is awesome, especially with like toxic
Yeah.
culture in general in the
Yeah.
world, right? Like, my
Yeah.
husband's like, how are you doing this? And I was like, I have to see the wonder in the world because I feel like we're in an amazing place of darkness, and it has to be dark before the light. And
Yes.
he's like, how do you live like that? I'm like, it's just how I exist. If you're telling me not to exist that way, it ain't going to happen. I don't
Right.
want to.
Yeah.
So I think like you're a light in the world. And what happened is because you're an empath and you care, is you give grace, too much grace to those who need more of a boundary. And
Yeah.
it's so tricky for empaths because we love. We love so much bigger than our body. We love with our whole soul.
Yeah.
And then our tiny little bodies, especially you're so petite, right? You have this like, you're just all heart. You're a walking heart, and I'm going to love for you and care for you and be creative with you. And super divine feminine, and how we interpret feminine in the world is got to shift. It can't be hating on masculinity. It can't be denying our own masculinity. But like, I always go to like Kali, I go to these like goddesses of the past who were like badass bitches, right? They'd be the girls in the thigh highs, the awesome like leather leggings. And, she'd be like this, yeah, I'm feminine, and
Yeah.
I'm going to drop it. And then I'm going to like do this. And then I'm going to put on my oversized sweatshirt and chill the hell out. I think we have to start to incorporate all of those aspects into femininity and not exclude any.
Absolutely.
And you are a super manifester and creator, and you pull people into the planet and you pull people to you. And that's like one of your gifts. So when you're saying hills, I don't see them that high. I just think it's about getting used to your power.
Mm. Yeah. Um, and it's funny when you were saying the hills because I had mentioned that, over the last few months, as I've been making these like big decisions based off of just faith in my spirit team, like they've given me messages. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Um, and I've seen what has come from it. Like when I quit my job, it was complete divine guidance of a yes. I mean, essentially that morning I have the pattern app and the app said, just a reminder, you don't need anyone's job to like live your best life. I was like, well, I'm quitting then. Like I was like, it's not any clearer than that. Um, and I didn't know what that looked like. I'm a certified spiritual and life coach, so I was like, I'm going to build that business, and that's always what it's been like in my head. I'm going to build that business, and then I took some time off. I hung out with my kids over the summer. We did some traveling, and it was really nice. But then I also realized that because I also had my IUD removed a month or two before, I was starting to I felt different. I was actually starting to feel more than I had felt previous months and years. And when when you allow yourself to feel, you feel the highs, but you also feel the lows. And when you're feeling those lows, you almost feel like if you're not used to it or if you don't give yourself that grace, like to experience that, you feel like something's wrong with you, or like you're broken and
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't do anything. And so I'm over here like, but I want to do all these things, and my body's like, nah, we need to
I
chill.
think as a conduit, which we both are, right, is that it's the highs. I just tell everyone I'm super moody. Like I'm super moody and I let everyone know what my mood is. But what it is that when we have that energy and we have to process it and we come down or we feel the heaviness, like full moons, I can't sleep. I can't, no matter what I do, I could take melatonin. I'll just like, and then I was telling Tony before, like all of these old insecurities during this last full moon, which is we're in October and I'm concentrating on Fear Month on Instagram, which is like my fun thing. But like all of my old insecurities about scarcity, about will I be able to, about money, like all of these thoughts were like, I know you're trying to reach more people. What are you, crazy? Like, who are you? And then, I got my first really hate comment on social media. It was
That means
awesome.
you've made it.
I made
You've
it.
made it.
I was like, oh, that was me. And it made me laugh. And my daughter was like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, I got some hate. Um, but I think that means that we have to take more downtime. We have to do all those little things that really fuel our body, which is eating right and exercising. I got really off my exercise and I'm doing it again, and my body's stronger again. Like I feel better. And like seriously, that salt bath thing that I talk about, I have a cup of lavender salt, like Epsom salts, in my
Mhm.
shower, and every day I scrub myself with it because we attract. So what happened, like also with you, when you got rid of that IUD, you opened up a new channel.
Mhm.
So like now you're, first of all, you're always a beacon of light. So now what we have to do is like rejigger your highest self with your physicality and
Mhm.
ground you. And then
Yeah.
you are super fertile. So like you always have to be careful of that because like you, like all of
Yeah.
these light beings want to come through you.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
So like we can just put like a little golden halo around there and be like, I like it, but the shop is closed for now. We're like, we're done for now. Because like I was saying, I had a hysterectomy and then I had to learn to rewire my energy
Mhm.
because my center was gone and then the world went quiet. And I woke up from surgery in ridiculous amounts of pain. But then without hearing my guides and not realizing how it's a constant dialogue for me, Like, oh, let's have a turkey sandwich. Like, I'm not talking to some other they. They're here. They're all there. Like I
Yeah.
could feel, and I'm like, oh. And then I was like, how do I figure out? And then some well-meaning people are like, just imagine a spiritual uterus. No, no, I don't want to, because that
Yeah.
doesn't help me, doesn't help any of my trauma with miscarriages or assault or any of it. That
Right.
doesn't help me. But owning who I am and
Mhm.
owning this body and dealing with my own body dysmorphic stuff, which is an ongoing lifetime thing for me personally.
Mhm.
But like owning all those pieces, good and bad, the high spiritual part and the petty human bits that I have, because, we all have that. We're
Yeah.
here to be human.
Yeah.
When you put all of those together, it also helps manage those intuitive gifts, because you can just push some away sometimes. The
Yeah.
boundary is I'm tired and I just need rest. And you're busy. You
Mhm.
started a magazine, you're a mom, you're changing careers, you're starting a business. I mean, that's four things I said in one whole breath.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I actually the business, I don't know what's happening there,
Yeah.
but I following the breadcrumbs that my spirit team has led over the last few months, I went back to school to complete my BA in creative writing and English with a concentration in screenwriting, and I'm so excited. And I actually had the download during COVID. Like I had surrendered during COVID because I was like on my ass, like dead to the world. And it was like, go back to school. It was like, yeah. I was like, okay. And I signed up, and in like 3 days, I was registered online for school. And I have 2 weeks of my first term left, and I'm doing so good. But it's been interesting because one of the class I took was his perspectives in history, which I thought I would
Mm.
hate. However, it made me like watch Hamilton and like just learn different things. I saw a job online and I was like, all right, my money's running out. Let's see, let's go back to the 3D world. And I applied to this job. It was for a people ops position. And I had this amazing interview that was not like a normal interview with this guy who's building this company of just high consciousness people, high conscious people. And I'm with him. And I wouldn't, what he said to me, I wouldn't have the balls to say it if I hadn't taken that class, because there was some stuff in there that I shared. And now, like next semester, I'm taking philosophy, and there's just so much connection to what I'm doing with this new job. And I'm realizing that I've been doing a lot of the upper work. Like I've been up here, and now
Mm-hmm.
it's time to me kind of to come back down. And how you said earlier, ground. It's
Mm-hmm.
time for me to use some of that in like the 3D, and like almost find out what's going on. I think as spiritual people, we pick who we follow on social media. We watch the YouTube videos we want to, and we don't listen to the noise of the news and like all the
No, we don't.
yucky, heavy, dense stuff. And I'm realizing that we like we kind of have to. Like we to ground, we're human. Like we do have to be here too. And so I do feel that this opportunity is helping me kind of come back down, because there are things I want to create in this life. Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
start an organization that helps women leave toxic situations. They have money, they'll have access to resources that they're afraid they don't have when if they leave, what am I going to do? So I want to build that, but I have to be here to do that. I can't
Yeah,
build
you
that
do.
up here.
There's an amazing organization. We'll do this offline that just started. I forget the name of it. Otherwise, I would say it. It's in Uptown Charlotte. And what it does, it centralizes the place of battered women. So instead of having to go to four different locations to file a report, protective order, get away, whatever, get clothing and shelter if you desperately need it, it's in one building now, and they walk you through the whole process and make it safe for you. So you don't
Yeah.
have to go and be re-traumatized by telling the story 700 times to get help.
Yeah,
So I can
that's
like,
powerful.
yeah, I can tell you that stuff. And like I was in film and TV for 18 years. So you want to
I
talk
know. I
screenwriting?
I know. I
Let's
was like, oh,
go
I have to make sure I tell her that. So I'm
for
super excited
sure.
about that.
And
Yeah.
back in the day, I'm a huge like historical fiction is my favorite, and history was my minor in school. It's
Ah,
because I love finding out more about everything. Like I just dive into it. And
yeah.
the really interesting thing is perspective is like right now with everyone having access to social media, it is still a narrative being run by the most unhappy voices because people want attention.
Mhm.
And so they know if they make noise and belittle and hurt and scream, that gets attention. It's like the world is like a giant toddler right now. And I don't know whoever the they is in charge, why they want this chaos. I don't understand that thing, but I won't be a part of it. And I am determined to, like, especially with my Real Not Perfect program, everyone who's coming through, I plug into my light grid, into like the light grid. And then all of their intuitive abilities are just like kind of going through the roof. And they're like, what's going on? I was like, ooh, welcome to the light grid. Like, welcome to being a part of the change. And it doesn't mean that you have
Yeah.
to give up your career as doing one is in banking, other people are in real estate, there's an artist. Like, it's really about being a demonstration of love
Mhm.
and light in your life. And it's going
Yes.
to influence people in all sorts of ways. You're still always too hard on yourself. You do so much. You do so much. You know, can we do this? Can we like end? Because I want to keep it like so people keep watching.
Yeah,
But can I ground you like while we record?
absolutely.
Cool.
I
I'm
love your
already sweating.
energy. Like, I
I'm
love
like,
it.
okay. I'm like, okay. All right. So I'm talking to your people really quick. You just have so much to do. So I just need you to rest better.
Yeah.
You're
Sleep.
not resting.
Yeah. I sleep, but I don't rest. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need you to keep a notebook with you, a blank one and like a marker so you can always jot down your ideas or, make sure you speak into your phone.
All the time. I
Okay. And
mean,
then
yeah.
once a month, this is what they're telling me. So I just have to tell you.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so once a month, but not more than that, because it'll start overwhelming you with like work and all your writing. And I want you to do your writing because I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
Is you're going to organize those thoughts. And like within the year, you're going to have a book.
Oh, that's amazing because for my 40th, which will be next year, I wanted to have a book published. So I already have a title. I already started it, but like that feels really good to hear.
And
So
it's going to be part of your journey, right?
yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
sharing that. So, okay, I'll, you just call me and I'll tell you everything about, so you don't make any of the mistakes I did.
Okay.
And
Yes.
we'll just make it so much more seamless for you.
Okay.
Okay, excellent.
Sounds good.
So let's ground you. Okay, so close your eyes. And I want you to pay attention to your breath, but you don't have to change how you're breathing. We're going to do a quick scan of your body, and we can see how your energy shoots from your heart up into the universe in this beautiful inverted triangle. And what I'm going to do right now is pull it more into your body. Now I'm going to ground you in safety. So I call upon Mother God, Mother, Father God, in this time, in this space, to bring healing and protection and grounding to Toni. I call on her army of angels who have always been there and who she now can call upon herself. And I appreciate how connected you are to spirit, but I will also not let you hide there. So I'm bringing that part of your soul back into your body, into your third chakra. I'm pulling it down from your heart. And I'm going to take some of that light and ground you into the star energy of the planet, past the beautiful fall leaves right now, into the cool soil, past and through the electromagnetic current in the planet, deeper still to the very center of the earth. And there is your power, my Leo fire woman. And that is part of your divine femininity. And it is that fire and that calling that I pull back into you. Grounding does not slow you down. This grounding will keep you running in your new purpose, in your new career goals. And we're going to ask that energy to come up through the soles of your feet and into your legs, hips, and torso, where it's also going to pull up into your heart, your throat, to clear and make room for all those words you're going to share. Down your arms as into power that you will create and manifest here from these places now, from your hands up to the back of your head and your third eye and crown. And we're shifting creativity from your uterus to your mind, your words, thoughts, and actions, which are represented by your hands. For the women and the people on the planet that you are going to help save. That you are a demonstration of survival. And far more than that, of creating a new reality in life for yourself that's full of love and compassion and good days and bad days. And those mountains that you were afraid of before are just rolling hills. And they're kind of fun to go up and down. Looking at you now, I see pages and pages of written material. I see books and scripts. I want to place you on a stage so the world can see you and honor you. And this is possible because that fire from the earth is feeding you. And you'll use your connection to the divine for choices. This serves me, this doesn't serve me. And putting an extra boundary of God around you. God always looks like gold leaf to me. And that's for protection, to keep those haters away, to keep the voices of people who don't understand what you're doing or why you're doing it away, because we don't need understanding, because you've found your calling. So you will build community, and they won't need any convincing. So I'm placing this bubble really wide around you. It's like 6 feet over you, 12 feet wide around, and 6 feet below you. This is your soul's dominion on the planet. This is a space to come when you need peacefulness and quiet. You can rest here. I'm going to create a door that you can easily open when you want to go rushing through with the wind in your hair, laughing and moving through the world. But this safe space is always here to come back to. I'm going to add a little extra zap on your heart, because I see relationships coming your way. I'm going to ask that divine femininity that's been living in your uterus. I'm going to just say thank you for your ability, for your beautiful way that you mother. But again, we're calling that creativity into your hands, your heart, throat, and mind. Can you feel the difference in the shift there? So when you start feeling it go down, especially when you're in love, you call it back up so you don't, if you want more kids, but if you don't, you can think of it that way. Let me menu. So I want to thank everyone for coming and grounding you. it's going to keep following you because, I'm like, this one's going on for a good month and a half. If you get moody, just text me. I
Okay,
always say amen. So they know that you have to go back to the world. Now your eyes look different. Do you
amen.
feel different?
Yeah, that was amazing. You are so amazing. Like,
I
I'm so grateful. I mean, we talked about gratitude, but there are some people on this earth that I am so glad that are part of my my karmic relationships, and I'm so thankful that you're a part of that team
Oh,
for me.
don't make me cry again. You're my soul group. I believe in soul groups, right?
Yes.
Like you're
Yeah.
totally a part of it. Thank you for like being open to have the conversation with me in this platform. I know that takes bravery too, and I really appreciate it. And so I'm gonna hit record off. So bye.